Sandwich make me strong!
I'm afraid not.
Heavy is probably considered the worst class in TF2 by the TF2 community. But what if I told you he's actually a really good class for both beginners and TF2 veterans? In this video, I will show you why Heavy isn't that bad, and I will also show why other people think he's bad. Also, thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. I know I say that almost all of these videos, but I do really appreciate it, and I'm just saying it a bunch because you guys are really helpful. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this one too. Heavy is considered the worst class for many reasons, but I think the biggest reason he's considered the worst is because of his movement. Or, in better terms, his lack of movement. You see, a scout moves very fast. They'll get to the fight in maybe about 30 or 20 seconds, but heavies are the slowest class in the entire game. Heavies will take maybe a minute, or depending on where you're trying to go, maybe even 2 minutes. Some of you guys may be thinking, so what if Heavy is slow? That doesn't really make him any worse of a class than anyone. But in Team Fortress 2, time is very important. Depending on what time you get there, you could lose or win the game. Also, movement affects how easy of a target you are to hit. If you're playing Heavy, you're probably gonna get sniped way easier than a scout who moves super fast. Now let's talk about the upsides of Heavy. The first upside that's easily spottable is that he has 300 HP. Not 100, not 200, 300, which makes him 100% the tankiest class in the entire game. Another upside is that his main weapon, the minigun, is instead of a burst fire weapon, it's more like the Pyro's flamethrower in that it doesn't fire in bursts. It's just one long stream of bullets. Heavy's large health pool and his suppressive wall of bullets can help support the team in many different ways. His health, for instance, can kind of turn him into a bullet sponge. So instead of the enemies' bullets and explosions going towards your more weak classes, such as scouts and spies, it'll go to the heavy, and the heavy can kind of be a protective wall for your team. Also, this is what makes pocket medics on Heavy super good, because that makes the Heavy's health even higher. Depending on the medigun they use, they can have a lot of overheal. Overheal is when you get healed so much that you have more than the base max health. So Heavy starts off with 300 HP, but if you have enough overheal, it's possible to get 450 in my experience. Heavy is weak to many other classes, but in this section I'll be talking about the ones I think are most interesting to pair with Heavy. First, we will be talking about the sniper. The sniper is a pretty interesting class to compare with Heavy. The sniper has pretty low health compared to Heavy. I think it's about 175 or 170 around there. And he's not very good at close quarters combat, but he's good at shooting people from afar. And I think that's why every time you make a sniper go against a heavy, the sniper's gonna win. The sniper can easily one-shot heavies with almost any sniper rifle. This means that even though heavy has such a large health pool, it won't matter. Plus, heavy is so slow that it makes him an easy target, like I said earlier. So, it's way easier for snipers to headshot them. When people think of countering different classes, the first thing you're probably going to think of is spy. You think of spy for countering sniper. You think of spy for countering almost any single class because he's a pick class. I've said this in other videos before. Basically, it means that his whole gimmick is that he just can get behind people and immediately kill them without other people and the person they're killing even know he's there. He can do this via disguising as enemy teammates or by cloaking and going invisible. If you've ever played a lot of heavy in a casual match, then you'll probably know the pain of protecting your team, doing very well, and then a spy just comes behind you and backstabs you. Also, heavy's lack of movement makes spies have a way easier time trying to backstab you. Okay, I think I'm being too harsh on heavy. Now let's talk about the classes that I think heavy counters. I think one of the classes heavy counters best is engineer. Engineer is also a defensive class, and his main line of support is his sentry gun. His sentry gun is a really important thing to destroy if you want your team to push forward and capture the objective. The best thing you can do as heavy to take out an engineer sentry gun is try to find cover near the sentry gun so you can peek from cover and just quickly shoot it. If you keep peeking and shooting it long enough, it'll eventually break. And if the engineer comes and tries to kill you, it's really simple. Just shoot at them. You can out-damage any engineer. Also, be careful for engineers who wrangled their sentries. A wrangled sentry fires faster. Pyros and heavies are very similar, but I think when you put them both together in a fight, the heavy's always gonna come out on top, and here's why. Pyro and heavy, like I said earlier, both don't have burst fire weapons. Their weapons fire in either a long stream of bullets or a long stream of fire. The thing is, heavy and pyro are basically the same, except heavy has way more health. So heavy will always outlive a pyro. So best thing to do when you see a pyro rocking right up to you, just shoot at them. In conclusion, heavy isn't a bad class, neither is any other class. They all have ups and downs. So maybe you should boost your measly 1 hour on heavy to 2 or more. I hope this video changes your perspective on heavy or TF2 in general. Also, thank you guys so much for supporting these videos. I've always wanted to make these sort of videos, and I really appreciate the support you guys are giving me. I probably wouldn't be able to do any of this if it weren't for you guys. So, yeah, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And yeah.